Hey, you're normally a really transparent person, so why is it in this conversation you're coming off passive while you're asking me a question in regards to something that seems to be a sensitive topic? Exactly. Especially if we've known one another for a while already. Why are you coming off passive more than direct and transparent like you normally do? What's going on? This isn't like you. Yeah, it's not like me. I have a tendency at times to revert to passive communication because I have a tendency at times to want to feel out energy of reaction before I fully dive into what I'm fully going to relay or bring up to see if you're ready to talk about it. So I guess in a sense, you could call it fishing for a feel to see if this is the best and probably most appropriate time to bring it up, or maybe it's not, kind of thing. And I do that through this approach. But you are right, I'm normally transparent with you, and yeah, I do have tendencies and times where I end up approaching things passively because I'm feeling out the energy first before I jump into it. Just because I know it's sensitive. At least in my eyes, it would be sensitive. And this is how I approach things in order to be mindful. And I guess you could also see it as me tiptoeing around feelings. So I could see some people pleaser tendencies with that. Yeah, working through that too. But this is just where I'm at. Since you brought it up, do you have an issue with me approaching things like this? I could see why you're approaching things this way. I could also see how you are doing it because you think it's respectful. Honestly, I don't really know or really know how to gauge on how I feel about this because I can see your intentions are coming from a good place. But it does concern me that you have to gauge the energy from me before you can fully feel comfortable enough to bring it to my attention entirely to talk about it, which means I've likely not allowed you to feel comfortable enough to fully be yourself around me, is what it almost feels like. To where you feel like you have to have moments, you have to approach me like this in order to begin to open up a tender topic. So, am I wrong? Yes and no. I know that this is a me thing more than a you thing. I'm not going to blame you for my choice of choosing to act on this choice of traits. I don't think I've really allowed myself to even really give you the opportunity to build that trust with me yet, which is on me. Because if I'm still acting on this trait at random when it comes to tender topics, that must mean that I have not given myself the opportunity to actually test the waters on sensitive topics with you yet to see how you respond when I bring it up directly. So that's actually on me. I don't recall a situation yet where you haven't reacted the best when we talk about a tender topic. So I mean, I don't see myself wanting to sit here and look for one because it's still a decision I made to act on, if that makes sense. So it's still my responsibility that I'm acting on this trait, is my point. So, yeah, I'll be working through this. Yeah. So, thanks for telling me to my face, because this is a topic to, get me out of my comfort zone, obviously. Yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, totally. I do want you to know that I am not going to always have a calm reaction all the time when we talk about tender topics. So, we are going to have to go through growing pains together when it comes to how we react and respond to each other in order to understand each other's characters better, because it's inevitable we're going to have to go through the waves of growing pains together when we are riding those waves of conversations in order to know how to accept each other's characters beyond the threshold we're currently at right now. And that starts with trusting each other without taking things and making things personal. Because I ain't going to act like I am some angel when there's a topic that is tender that I may not be ready to talk about. But if you approach me passively, you're taking away the opportunity from me to choose for myself how I'm going to respond. And I want to have the opportunity to choose. Well, how would I be taking away your choice of how you respond if I'm approaching things passively where I'm just fishing to see how you would react? How am I taking that choice away from you? Because this approach prevents me from seeing where I need to grow as a person. If you approach me too softly, where if you don't approach me directly, I'm not going to know where I need to grow personally as a person, because you're too busy trying to cater to my feelings, which is my job, when your job is to show up as yourself and feel comfortable doing that with me, even in uncomfortable conversations. So that's what I mean.